Have you ever heard of Kala Namak or black salt? This unique ingredient has a strong sulfuric smell and taste, but when used correctly, it can be a powerful tool in the kitchen. It can be used to add an eggy flavor to scrambled tofu, or use it to enhance the sweet, sour, and spicy flavors in Indian cooking. In this video, I'll explain what Kala Namak is, how to use it in your cooking, and I'll also try it out in a few traditional ways. We'll also make some delicious pakoras and Indian-style fritter using Kala Namak, of course, and we're also going to air fry them instead of deep frying them for a healthier alternative. So what is Kala Namak? Well, literally it means black salt, Kala meaning black and Namak meaning salt. It's a type of volcanic rock salt typically mined in regions near the Himalayan mountains, including India, Nepal, Bangladesh. What makes Kala Namak special is its sulfur content. Those sulfur compounds give it its unique eggy aroma and sharp taste. It also contains trace minerals like iron, magnesium, and potassium, which adds to its complex flavor. Most importantly, how do we use Kala Namak? Well, traditionally it's used in chaats, which are these savoury, crunchy Indian street food snacks. It's also used in chutneys, salads, and raitas, and it's even sprinkled over fruit to bring out the natural sweetness. It's also used in chaat masala, which is an amazing Indian spice blend that includes other tangy ingredients like dried mango powder, asafoetida, and some other spices to create an amazing mouth-puckering taste. Sadly, I couldn't get hold of this spice mix, so we're just going to try a little bit of Kala Namak on some mango. Okay, so we're going to start by sprinkling a little bit over this frozen mango, which I've just defrosted, and we'll give that a go. Okay, I'm slightly apprehensive about this as I can sort of smell the sort of sulfuric smell coming off it, but let's give it a go. Okay, that is interesting. Certainly different. Wow. Okay, that is definitely quite unusual. I can feel my mouth almost watering and there's a sort of tangy tartness to it. I think if we were using the chaat masala, it would be a lot nicer because it's got the other spices in there. But the Kala Namak on its own, yeah, that is very unusual. Another recipe suggestion I saw was to try it in Indian lemonade called shikanji nimbu pani. And I'm sure I said that wrong, but we're going to give it a try. We'll start with some freshly squeezed lemon juice. It's meant to have sugar, but we're just going to use a little maple syrup as I don't have any. It also has a touch of ground cumin, tiny crack of black pepper, and then of course the Kala Namak. And then we'll just mix that up. This is a recipe I found online, so I'll link it in case you fancy giving it a try. Okay, let's give this a try. It is missing one ingredient, which is the mango powder, but we're going to give it a go regardless. That's actually really nice. Looks like Poppy is also having a little drink. That is still quite unusual. I think that sulfuric flavor is just not quite familiar for me, but it's definitely nicer than just sprinkling it on the mango, I'd say. I think the cumin and the black pepper adds a nice sort of savouriness to it, but for me, I think I'm going to keep using Kala Namak in my savoury cooking, personally. Kala Namak has recently gained popularity in vegan cooking for recreating that eggy flavour in plant-based dishes. I love to use it in scrambled tofu, breakfast muffins, and also in Caesar salad dressing. Be wary though, a little goes a long way, and it is still salt, so you don't need to add any additional regular salt. Also, it does kind of lose its potency as you cook it, so if you want, you can sprinkle on a little bit at the end, and that's going to add an additional kick of Kala Namak. Now let's make some irresistible pakoras, of course using some Kala Namak. I just wanted to say a massive thank you to all my Patreon members. Your support helps me improve my videos and continue sharing my love for plant-based cooking. If you're not a Patreon member yet, if I could just ask one favor of you, and that is to check out the page. There's a QR code here and a link in the description box. As a member, you get access to a chat where we share cooking pictures, tips, recipes, all that sort of thing. You also get all of my recipes that are on YouTube in PDF form, and you can get early access to my YouTube videos. It's a great way to connect with me as a creator and also other viewers of this channel who love plant-based cooking, especially in this age of AI when you don't really know what's real and what's not. It's nice to join this sort of community. But most importantly, you get to help me in creating the videos that I hope you love. Okay, back to the video. So first things first, for these pakoras, we're just going to slice a bunch of red onions. And I'm already crying, so that's a good start. Then just get them into a bowl and we're going to add in some fresh herbs. I'm going to go for some fresh coriander and some mint. I'll just wait until she falls asleep. And then just zest in some fresh ginger. Love zesting ginger, it's just such a quick way to do it. Next, just a little bit of this lazy chili. Of course, you can use fresh chili if you've got it. Then we're going to add our gram flour or chickpea flour. A little bit of corn flour, that's gonna make them extra crispy. Then for spices, I'm adding a ½ teaspoon of turmeric for that lovely golden color. Teaspoon of toasted cumin seeds. 1 teaspoon of garam masala. That's a really lovely warming spice blend. And then about a ¼ teaspoon of asafoetida. This has a lovely sort of garlicky, slightly sort of tangy and fruity flavor. And of course we're going to add our Kala Namak. And then all you have to do is get your hands in there and just give it a good massage. This is going to release the moisture from the onions and create a sort of sticky dough. And you're just going to keep mixing until it starts to clump together. The bowl probably is a little bit too small. Really massage those onions. You want them to start once they start releasing their moisture, it will start coming together. You shouldn't need to add any water. You just got to give it a good old massage, and yeah, the onions will start crying and create a nice sort of dough. That's starting to come together nicely. That is looking good. It's clumping together nicely, so we can get it into the air fryer. So I've just lightly greased the air fryer, and now we're just going to shape these into little sort of round patties, a little bit like this, and then you can just pop them in and make sure you keep them spaced out so that they don't stick together. I will also just brush a little bit of oil over the top of them so they get nice and crispy, and then we'll air fry them at 180 degrees for, I'm going to say about probably 12-15 minutes, and I'll turn them halfway through as well. I've just quickly mixed a bit of mango chutney with some lime to dip these in. Super tasty. They're crispy, full of spice, and you definitely get that tangy punch from the Kala Namak. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see a similar video, but where I go over the ingredient Marmite, then check it out here.